Hey, so a few things. One, I actually read up on the wiki about both Priscilla and piercing swords, and according to the wiki, Priscilla can be broken out of her invisibility by doing enough poise damage. Now, and it gave a few examples, and there was like a Stora straight sword, and like two hits would knock her out of it. And I was thinking back. I didn't look back at the footage of the hammer run, but I was thinking back to the hammer run, and I broke her out of it in a couple hits. I'm pretty sure. And then I looked at the piercing sword wiki, and it said that piercing swords do very good poise damage. So piercing swords, what I'm using, do very good poise damage, and you knock Priscilla out of her invisibility by doing enough poison damage. But here's the thing. In the beginning, I was using Rickard's Rapier plus 10. I was two-handing it, which should do more poise damage, right? And I did four swings, like four basic attacks, in a row. I think she hit me, and then I did another five in a row, and that didn't break her out. Whereas the hammer, it only took a few, like maybe two or three swings, maybe, to knock her out of invisibility. So I'm gonna call complete BS on the wiki about piercing swords doing high poise damage. That's nonsense. Two, I got the Spellstone Plate Ring. I upgraded the black set. I also upgraded the Balder set, but I don't know if we're gonna go back to that. Three, upgraded Velka's, and I also leveled up, as you can see. I'm now at 70. I was at 55 before. And so now I've got 30 vitality, 32 endurance, 31 dex, and 16 intelligence. And I was thinking about maybe, possibly, perhaps moving Rickard's over to like a magic enchantment. But first, I want to go kill Seath because Seath is resistant to magic. Although I don't know if we even can slap a magic thing on Rickards because it seems like a special weapon. Because it's not just some random name like longsword or broadsword. It's dropped by a named NPC. And yeah, it's got like a capital name to it. Okay. Now, something else I noticed, specifically during when I was grinding up the levels, was that areas like Sen's Fortress and Orlando are actually infinitely easier if you just parry. So you can have a fast one or a charged one. Alright, yeah, you get out of here. Kinda sucks that you can't roll through those, you have to attack them. But yeah, a lot of areas in this game are a lot easier if you just get used to parrying. And also, parrying is a lot easier in this game. A lot of them have very whack. I hate the channelers specifically because of that. Like, their physical poke attacks, while it's like one single poke like that, it can... the hitbox will, like, triple tap you. And so, like, it's a single attack, and it does full single attack damage. But it'll do that full single attack damage 3 times. And so it's your entire health bar, essentially. Like, the one in Undead Parish. You come with me. Yeah, the one in Undead Parish, I was at full health and it one-shot me. And it only one-shot me because of that triple tap. Just one single poke, but then the poke takes like a third of your health, and then it takes like a third of your health again, and then it takes like a third of your health a third time. There's no reason for it to do that. I hate locking on in this game. It is abysmal. Because legitimately, like, half the time when I press roll, I will go in a completely random direction. Nah. It's like, I can be holding down like this, and I'll just roll to the left. And you might say that that's because I'm on a controller and you got full 360, so maybe I was like holding down left, but no, even when I was playing on mouse and keyboard, where there's just WASD, and it's just the 4 main directions. Even then, purely holding S, which is just straight down, it would still sometimes make me roll like left or forward. Scared? 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 Oh, baby scared. Yep, that's what I was waiting for. NPC fights are, at least the ones that like over rely on parrying, are no fun, because parrying is supposed to be a risk-reward thing, and they just kind of turn it into a not risk-reward thing, which means that you get things like this, where we are both just standing here with our shields up, and I can't attack you because if I try attacking you, it is a guaranteed parry. Which means, since I don't want to be guaranteed parried, all I can either do is hope that I have a weapon that has farther reach than your parry. Or just shield and wait for you to attack. Which is no fun. Absolutely no fun. Any fight where the NPC can just parry you perfectly on a dime, which forces you... my screen went black. My screen went black. Alright, it's back. No idea why my screen does that. Like, I've checked over a dozen times. Oh, scaredy boy, scaredy boy. Nope. But yeah, I've checked over a dozen times. My HDMI cable going into the monitor isn't loose at all. Not even remotely. Not even the tiniest little bit loose. Not even the tiniest bit. And don't think any of the like wires in it are broken. Here, let me check again. Nope, not wiggling at all. Didn't go up at all when I pushed it. And I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. It just randomly decides to do that sometimes. Do I have any? I do not. I guess I sold it. I had a Ring of Sacrifice. But oh well. Hello, Seethy boy. Yes. Let's just get this scripted death out of the way. There we go. So yeah, the direct hit from the laser beam does kill. There we go. You died. Rectamungo, I sure did. Whatever. Sit down. No. Bad snake person. Bad snake person. Well, I was hoping to kill them before they got up. Because trying to fight two of them is no good. Hi. I mean, well, the AI is kind of weird sometimes. Something else I noticed was that, I don't know about other enemies, but against these snake guys specifically, you can press the parry button and then the light attack button at nearly the same time. And drop. And what sometimes happens is you'll actually parry so quickly that you won't get the animation of you swinging your shield to the side. You won't get that animation off. And the enemies won't get the animation of swinging their weapon off. You might hear the noises, but the only actual animation will be the parry animation. And near the end of me grinding there, I actually got right over the edge. I actually got fairly consistent at that. Yeah, you get on out of here. Hey, wait a minute. Ooh. Yeah, look at that. Go back and look at my health bar. It got chunked down 2 separate times. Normally happens 3 times, but I didn't have the health for it to get chunked down 3 times. There's no reason for that. Like, you could say, oh, well, it's a trident. But if we get that weapon, would it chunk down the enemy's health 3 times? I doubt it. So, this crystal heals Seath, I believe. Oh my. Look at that damage. Even two-handed. This is not good damage. No. Ooh. So, oh boy, we just barely made it. Alright, so two-handed, our damage isn't too terrible, but also this is after what was it? Like 15 levels? Because Yeah, I did grind a ton of levels. Ooh. What you doing throwing melee attacks in here? What you doing that for? You shouldn't be doing that. Seath Falls. Bequeathed to Lord Soul. Humanity. 60k. This game has 4 different blacksmiths. As Andre, who we all know and love. And he's for like physical, divine, raw, maybe one other. You got magic guy here who's for magic and enchanted. You got, oh, I forget his name, the guy in the catacombs, like skeleton guy with the weird voice, who's for, I think, fire and something else, probably chaos. And then you got the giant in Anne Orlando, who's for lightning.
Well, this is
These enemies are kind of weird, because on one hand, I really like the idea, and I think for the most part, the execution is really good. But there's a small portion with the dark raids where one of them, well, not one, 2 of them will actually come after you. And there was a point where I was farming the dark raids for Titanite chunks. Not on this character, obviously. I think it was on the hammer character. And a reoccurring problem I had was that even with the slumbering dragon crest ring, the one that makes you walk silently, and the ring of fog, which makes you partially invisible, even with both of those, they would aggro onto me. But no matter what, they mostly refused to come after me until a dark wraith aggroed onto me, and then they try to gank me. And it would take coward, and sometimes it would take like a full minute or 2 to actually tease them out and get them in a position where I could attack them, because they were hanging out in the walls. And obviously if you try to attack a wall, your weapon bounces off. And they'd stay inside of the wall enough to where you couldn't attack them, your weapon would just bounce off. But close enough to where they'd be able to get licks in on you if you got close to the wall to try. And the only way I found to consistently bring them out was to aggro a dark wraith and then to parry kill the Dark Wraith before they got close. That was the only method I found. And again, I couldn't get the Dark Wraith without getting them, which really sucked. And then... Ooh. I believe that's a knife that lets you attack them without the transient curse. But anyways, my other problem, and my bigger problem, because that's just one tiny scenario, but my other problem with them is a lot of them will hang out like in the floor where they can attack you, but you can't attack them, which is annoying. It's like the idea of needing an item to kill an enemy, but it lasts a decent bit of time.
Well, you did.
Yep.
The folk you did.
Thank you.
And the
Oh, not curse. Transient curse.
New Londo, Mate.
Yep. Well, like, it lasts a decent bit of time. Those enemies drop it, so unless you're really bad or unlucky, you should be able to get your hands on more and have a supply of them. You just have to keep, like, the timing in mind. Curse Blade Ring. To make sure that you're not in the middle of combat when it wears off. Green Titanite Shard. Alright. But yeah, so there's just a few little annoyances with them, I suppose you can call it. But the idea and, for the most part, the execution is good. And I find them to be pretty enjoyable. Let's go. And off we go. Floodgates. Now, it's kind of weird that it bushes all that water out, but doesn't affect the drakes at all. Again, all that camera movement was the game. I didn't even have my thumb on the analog stick. But anyways, if killing the drakes got rid of them permanently, or better yet, opening these floodgates got rid of the drakes, then I'd really like this connection, because then you could take the bonfire from the elevator over there, but because the drakes are every time enemies. Eh. Nope. Mistake. Oh, he's got like... Yeah. Had a permanent... Yeah, that effect. Titanite chunk. Yay, thank you. Yeah, that's a weird little visual bug. I don't know exactly what caused that, but... some weird visual bug causes the Dark Hand Ripple to just permanently stay. We can send that up. Same with the audio effect. Because there is an audio effect to that. Hi. It takes a little used to get it. It takes getting a little used to parrying enemies. Yeah, it was here. This was the spot where the two ghosts would come. I see him moving. Yeah, once you get used to it, though, parrying is a lot easier in this game. I parried way too early. Now, obviously I can't really speak for Dark Souls 2 or Demon Souls, because I have yet to play those two games, but and the parrying system in Bloodborne. Ow! And the parrying system in Bloodborne is different enough for me to not really count it. In a comparison, right? Probably better to shield you then, because I don't know your tells. And without knowing your tells, you do a lot of damage. But yeah, so out of Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3, and Elden Ring, I've noticed parrying is a lot easier. Well, okay then. A lot easier in Dark Souls 1. Because I couldn't even parry the basic tutorial enemies in Dark Souls 3. in Elden Ring, I didn't try getting into parrying too much, but I, just like here, I was doing runs with all the different weapon classes, and for daggers, I thought it might be fun to get the parrying dagger and to try to parry. Because, haha, why not? And I mostly tried parrying the basic soldiers. In, like, all of their different variations. So, like, the straight sword ones, the, like, hammer variants, the great sword ones, and I got pretty consistent at pairing those guys, except for I don't remember how to get up there. Over here, was it? Question mark? Yes. I got pretty decent at pairing those, like, basic soldier enemies. Except for the greatsword ones. It took me until Mitgelmir before I could parry the greatsword variants with without taking like 4 or 5 Estus. But eventually I did it. But I never got like good at parrying. Whereas here, I wouldn't say I'm good at parrying, but it's definitely much, much easier. And there's a lot less of getting smacked in the face while trying to learn the timings. The timings feel a lot more lenient, I'll say. I took my right hand fully off of the controller to readjust my shirt during that. That was all the game. All that camera movement was purely the game. None of that was me. I forgot a soul. But, oh well. It's not too much. Also, the blue flames are very cool. My first time encountering a blue flame was in Elden Ring, and I thought it was awesome. And now seeing that it probably originated here, unless it originated in Demon Souls. In which case I wouldn't know, but assuming it didn't, seeing it originate here, very cool. I like it lots. We don't have it, or we're not getting rid of it for the souls, we're getting rid of it to clear up inventory.
Farewell.
Yep. I only have left ear audio, and so whenever I like look left, putting an NPC to my right, it just cuts off all audio for me. It's hilarious. It'll be like, farewell. Instantly. Hey.
Well, I'll be.
Yep.
That's a brilliant ember you've got there.
Mm-hmm.
For all my years in the trade, that might be the finest.
Sure is.
How's about you leave that ember with me? I'm just an old smith.
Yep.
Well, now,
Alright, so I heard some people really don't like the amount of fan service in Dark Souls 3, which I played Dark Souls 3 far before Dark Souls 1. I first played Dark Souls 3 when it came out in 2016, whereas I'm first playing Dark Souls 3 here in 2023. And so I never got that fan service. But looking back, now that I have some knowledge of Dark Souls 1, looking back at Dark Souls 3, it doesn't bother me or cheapen the experience, but Andre only really deals with physical, raw, and then like divine. Whereas in Dark Souls 3, he kind of deals with everything. Whereas here, it's like, if you want to go to magic, then you go to the magic blacksmith. If you want to do fire, you do the fire blacksmith. If you want to do lightning, you do the lightning blacksmith. And Andre is the main because he's the physical blacksmith. And looking at that, it would be kind of cool to have, like, I understand that they gave everything to Andre to streamline things, but I do think it'd be cool for there to be multiple blacksmiths. So, the fire one in the catacombs is very, 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 very extremely inconvenient to get to. And the giant blacksmith, you have to go through some enemies that aren't really fun, but like Andre and the magic guy are nice. Even if you have to walk a little bit, you don't have to deal with any enemies or do any death leaps. And I don't know if I prefer this or Dark Souls 3, purely because of how inconvenient the one in the catacombs is, in terms of like having to do a death leap. And then getting to the giant blacksmith in Orlando. Pop. You have to go through some unfun enemies. If they weren't like that, if all four were like Andre and the magic one, where you could get to them without going through any enemies or doing any death jumps, I would very much prefer this over Dark Souls 3. Which, I mean, thankfully, Andre being our main man is pretty easy to get to. But anyways, 7 base. Ooh. 8 additional. So that's 15. Sorry, Caduceus Kite Shield. Maybe someday. Let's see. That's 7 base. 5 additional, leading to 12. Alright. 7 base. 4 additional, leading to 11. Ah, I need 1. I'm 1 single Titanite chunk away. 1 single Titanite chunk away from 2 upgrades. Oof.
Don't get yourself kicked, Knight.
I won't, I won't. We still need to kill the moonlight butterfly. I haven't forgotten about that. Real quick, we can warp to Firelink to get the, that sound out of the way. And then we can start popping these souls. 20,000. 8,000. I forgot to hit 3. That's 15,000 for those 3. 9,000. 2,000. And 2,000. That gives us 5 levels. So we're good on endurance. I mean, more stamina would be nice, but we don't need the equip load. So so all we really need is vitality and dex. 20 to 25. The question is, do we want to go with Rickards or Velka's? Because on paper, Velka's does a lot more damage. But that's split between physical and magical. That'd be 25 damage for Velka's, though. Whereas this would be 6 for Velka's and I believe 18 for Rickards. I don't know what we want to do. I don't know what we want to do. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully we don't regret that. Let's see. Daughter Chaos. Hello. How are you? Now do your sploosh. Sploosh. Okay. You have fun. I'm out of here. And we could fight. We could fight it quote unquote legit. I feel like this was intended by the developers, so. Well, cowardly, it seems legit to me. But who knows? But I fought them without doing this once. And that once is once enough for me. Victory achieved. Yep. And 20k. that's the damage I expected. On my other runs. Or at least my straight sword run. But I did way more damage on my straight sword run. So I want to test something. 156, okay. Ooh. 168. Alright, yeah. That AoE is fine. Honestly, they could have made it come out like a little faster, honestly. It's the like anime side slash attack. Alright. Yeah, it's like the anime side slash attack AoE that I have a bigger problem with. And by quote-unquote bigger problem with, I mean that's the only attack I have a problem with. And so when the RNG gods smile upon me and don't give me that attack. 110. Well, I can't see. So I don't know how much damage that did. 78. Alright, so yeah, Velka does do more damage. Oh, okay. Good to know. But yeah, when the RNG gods smile down upon me and make them not really use the anime side slash attack, Demon Fire Sage is a fun boss. That's the thing about both Demon Fire Sage and the Centipede Demon for me. 10k away from a level. From 45 to 49, so that's 4. 5 to 7. Part of me wants to start investing more into intelligence. How much does this give us? 5k. And I needed 10k. This gives us 2k. So we need 4.5. Okay. Sad. For me, Demon Fire Sage and Centipede Demon are both reliant on RNG. Where it's like, if you get good RNG, they're fun. If you get bad RNG, they're not fun. Which kind of sucks. But I suppose it could be worse. And Demon Fire Sage can at least partially be mitigated by having good awareness, good stamina management, and staying on a light load for you to just book it. 34.5. So just grind up the last itty little bit for a level before going in. One more. There we go. Now we have enough to get a level. Hopefully. But yeah, Centipede Demon, on the other hand, 68 and 50. Yeah, Centipede Demon, on the other hand, can't be mitigated nearly as well. Let's reverse hollowing. Like, Centipede Demon is a lot more actually RNG reliant. You can't mitigate that RNG with good stamina management. I want to see, does Flash Sweat help with the lava? That's something I probably should have checked before going into a boss fight, but maybe there is a way to lure it out, but again, it just seems RNG reliant to me. Ow. Please, be kind. Oh, we're doing really good damage, actually. Wow. I did not think we'd be doing very good damage. But we are. So that's good. Whoosh. Victory! Thank you, Slayer. And 40k. So I want to see. Oof. And the answer to that is a quite obvious no. Like, it is nice that you can get it before killing the boss by chopping off a limb, but the fact that you still have to go in here and then get it close enough for you to be able to actually chop a limb off does suck a bit. But, hello. Don't mind me pouring sweat. Listen, man, I know that it's lava everywhere, but I just came out of a thunderstorm. Alright, you gotta believe me, that was it. Alright. It wasn't sweat. Alright. Wasn't residue sweat from me fighting the demon fire sage. Trust me, it was a rainstorm. Please, you gotta believe me, man.
Why? Why?
Because of dignity.
After all this searching. I still cannot find it.
The thunderstorm? It's that way. What is that? Southeast? Probably. That feels southeast to me.
What?
Anyway, good luck to you. Thank you for helping me kill a centipede. Hold on. Short bow. Excuse me? I don't know what that was about, but... Alright then. But yeah, they went down here and then shot some fire on me. Which... that was a good one. Yeah. Velka's as kind of a cool heavy attack. How? I keep forgetting that you like can't. There is no like, you can't back up and like run. No. No. $27,000, wow. Barbed straight sword. Sorry, my man, if you're gonna hyper armor through my attacks, I'll just shield bot you. But yeah, Velka's piercing sword has a cool heavy attack combo where it's like 2 vertical slashes followed by a poke. Which is part of the reason why I wanted to use it. And I've noticed basically all of them have like their own thing. Mailbreaker has like a step forward poke. The basic thrusting sword has a poke and then a second follow-up poke. Like I said, it's like the basic. I said it before, it's like the basic one. The S-Stock as a slash, and then you can do a follow-up slash. Orchard's has the double poke and then follow-up triple poke with a final big poke after that. And Vilkas has the double vertical followed by the poke. So they all have their own unique heavy attack. Besides, like, maybe the Mailbreaker. Ooh. Alright, so Rickards is a 5-shot one-handed, 4-shot two-handed. Vilka's is a 3-shot one-handed, 2-shot two-handed. Yeah, Velka's way stronger. Hello.
Finally, I have found it. I have. My very own son. I am the son.
Chill.
I've done it. I
shield.
have. Yes, I did it. I did.
Uh-huh. I'm sorry, did that do fire damage? Did his kick do fire damage? Ow! Stop it.
It's my stick.
You know, again, the wiki was saying that piercing swords have good poise damage. But I don't think I've broken the poise of anything in existence this entire run. I mean, obviously I've broken the poise of a few things, but there are enemies where a single basic light attack from a straight sword would stun an enemy, whereas the slash slash or the like poke 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 from this wouldn't. Just won't. The wiki says they do good poise damage. I think that is completely false. It's 6656. We can go with this just to make it 25. I actually forgot about the DLC until now. Whew. I don't know if going left or right first is good. Like, I don't know which one is the direction you want to go through. Rude. I mean, there we go. I mean, both ways are pretty bad. I don't think it makes much of a difference. Off we go. I'm not gonna bother getting our souls. Ow. Please, please. Oh, you're throwing fireballs at me now? That was half our health. That was a half our health. Oh, okay. Fine. That's what I was doing. Oh my god. Look how far it pushed us. Do you hear? This boss is actually insanity. with how much damage it does, how far it pushes you. And that was a one-shot. Yeah, like, this is a gimmick boss where the danger isn't supposed to be the boss themselves. The danger is supposed to be the ground is falling apart, and also it can push you in. And so the danger is supposed to be gravity, but then the boss can take half your health with a single swing. And also the boss is just doing a constant barrage of swings. And also the boss has a massive AoE that can one-shot you. And you might say, oh, well, it only one-shot you because you're wearing a low defensive set, but it nearly one-shot me on the Greatsword run, too, where something just took 9 damage. Where I was wearing a, I believe, fully upgraded Silver Knight set. And had pretty good health. There's supposed to be a gimmick boss where they aren't the threat. Gravity and being pushed off is the threat. But also they can take half your health bar with a single attack. And they have lots of attacks. And also they can push you really far, which means that you get pushed very far away from your goal, even if you were 2 inches away from it. Now you're 50 feet away from it. Which means that you have to go through even more attacks. It's just so many attacks. So many attacks. So much damage. So fast. Okay, good. Die. Oh my god. Well, thankfully I just equipped and started using the one single piercing sword that has vertical attacks, because if I didn't do that, then I might have had to go into the menu, unequip the weapon, or go like this, and like hope that I can punch it. Whatever. That took way too many tries. This boss is garbage. Like, just terrible design. And I think Bit of Chaos is pretty universally hated. So, 62. What do you have more of? You have more magic. So, sure, why not? Hopefully none of the DLC bosses are resistant to magic. Because that'd suck. But pretty good progress today. We beat Seath. Like, we got through the entirety of the Duke's Archives. We beat Seath. We got through the entirety of the Demon Ruins and Lost Izalith. We beat Ceaseless Discharge. We beat Demon Fire Sage, the Centipede Demon. This excuse for a boss. And we're coming up on the end. At least in terms of the base game. We still got a decent bit of DLC to go, considering we haven't started it. Oh, we still have Gwendolyn. We can get to Gwendolyn in due time. So, until next time, off we go. I'll see you then. And, yeah.